Okay, so I have this company in Japan. It's a massive multinational corporation with only 2 employees, me and my wife. I'm the CEO, but my wife is the actual boss. I'm just the secretary who handles all the paperwork. It is a small business, but 7.5 years of corporation paperwork later, I have no idea where anything was anymore. Like constipation. It builds up slowly over 7 years, and suddenly one day, I could not shit anymore. I needed a permanent laxative, a colon cleanse, something to fix this constipation problem for good. So yesterday, I dumped this all onto a server, told an AI agent to organize it, and walked away. Running your own AI on your own server sounds like a pure geek move, but here's the thing. I do not know how to code. I have zero programming background. I built all of this just by talking. So you do not need to know how to code either. You just need to know how to talk. So here's what happened. At first, a quick backstory. I've been running this whole company on Notion since day one. Every tax filing, every piece of accounting, every government form, all of it live inside Notion databases. Notion databases are great when you use them every day, but you only do most of this stuff once a year. And when you open it back up after 12 months, your own filing system looks like a stranger's handwriting. July rolls around, time to do mid-year reports. I open Notion and my brain shuts down immediately. Because opening Notion is the only step I remembered out of the 100 steps it takes to actually submit those reports. I cannot recall anything. I even wrote myself manuals last year. Could not understand my own manuals. That is when I made the call. Export the entire Notion database, 685 megabytes, hundreds of files, thousands of receipts, 7.5 years of digital constipation, waiting to be flushed. I dumped it all onto my server, a $10 a month imaginary computer running Hermes Agent with a DeepSeek V4. And I asked my cat agent to organize all of it. Because who would you trust more with 7 years of company files? A cat or a human? I did not even unzip it. Just throw the whole compressed archive at it, and it started to unpacking itself, processing everything automatically. If you have ever exported from Notion, you know the file names comes out with those long UUI details. Especially in a Japanese environment, all those stupid ShiftGIS encoding makes everything looks like alien alphabet soup, which, if you do not speak Chinese or Japanese, it looks exactly the same way. Now here's the part I want you to pay attention to. As I said before, I do not know how to code. I have no programming background, but I have actually built over a dozen handy little programs for myself, automating my daily work and life, all just by talking to AI. To a senior developer, they might look like garbage, but that doesn't matter. I'm not here to sell you software. What matters is solving the problem. So everything was done through conversation, zero manual code. And in those conversations, I built a structure I now use for everything. Every project is an AI context document, which tells the AI what this project is about, what to do and what not to do. There's an architecture document describing how the project is structured, showing what we are doing now, where we are going next, and a whole series of docs files like that. Whenever I start a new project, I set all of that up first. So my AI received this slip, unpacked it, and my AI was genuinely shocked. It said, "Dude, you have 635 files in a single folder. How do you want me to organize all of this?" So I thought, can I use the same vibe coding approach I used with AI to manage my entire company? I started experimenting. First, we built the file classification framework, 2 dimensions, by year and by function, 9 top-level categories, because this whole mess was basically code spaghetti. But for company documents, you have to classify them first. And here's the thing you need to know about AI. It loves the RM command. The moment it thinks something is wrong, it will just delete everything. For my company files, in daily life they're just a pile of garbage. But when I actually need them and they are not there, the tax bureau will screw me 6 ways to Sunday. So I went with a safety-first approach. The Notion had a complete backup. My local machine had a complete backup. The server copy was the 4th layer. Only then did I feel safe. You can never have too many backups. Seriously, do your backups. Especially when you are telling AI to manage your stuff. Do not wait until something catastrophic happens. And even then, I had a hard rule. Copy only. Never move or delete. Copy files to the new structure. Verify the originals are all still there. Then I manually delete them myself, or give the AI a clear instruction to how to delete them. So during the classification process, the AI hit his first real problem. If you are as diligent as I am, your projects and everything you manage, including your desktop, are probably full of files named image 1, image 2, report 1, report v2, script 2233, or whatever the your fingers smashed on the keyboard. If I only look at the file names, I have absolutely no idea what anything was. Which report for which government agency? None of it was written in the file name. It was all inside the content. Now, if you do this by hand, you open every single PDF, every single image one by one for 7 years of files spanning hundreds of megabytes, pay someone to do that and you do the math on the salary. So I had the Hermes OCR everything, PDFs, images, all of it, and classify everything based on what the document actually said. I used the local vision AI for this, because running it on a cloud API would have been expensive. Still cheaper than paying a human to do it, of course. But in this world, we optimize. Ideally, we could optimize me out of the equation too, but we're only partway there. If you are curious about local AI setups or the hardware side of things, let me know in the comments. Well, of course, there are problems along the way. Notion uses hyperlinks for images, so when files moved, all the links broke. Previously, that would have been a disaster. But now you just tell the AI, hey, my links are broken, fix them. And it does, in seconds. Remember the days when the Markdown files first got popular? Back before Obsidian and all those smart fixing plugins. Your brain would just explode trying to do it by hand. Now it is one sentence. Same thing with the Notion UUIDs, the Japanese encoding shit and everything. The AI parsed it all, renamed every file based on its actual content. After about 2 or 3 hours on the first day, everything was organized. I could barely believe it. Because this kind of work, I used to have to find a quiet weekend, giving up all my free time, chug 2 Red Bulls, hype myself up, watch a YouTube motivation video, and only then could I get through it. And it actually took less than 2 or 3 hours of just chatting with an AI. It just did it. Total token cost was 150 million tokens, $1.06, plus some electricity. If I had hired a professional paid by the hour for this job, just imagining it makes my company go bankrupt. So that was day 1. Day 2, finally to the real work. With the files organized, I followed the same playbook I used for a software project. I had the AI auto-summarize the company structure, an architecture document, a readme.md, all of that kind of things. Then we went through all the past files together and created a manual settlement process, the schedule of everything that needs to be happen each year. And I also built a pitfall document because Japanese government system have so many stupid edge cases. For example, the online text system rejects my filing because I wrote 0 on a field. If it's 0, the correct answer was to leave it blank. That kind of nonsense. I just want to run my little art studio and make things. What the f do I have to deal with this garbage? That's why, when we hit problems, we document them in a pitfalls file. So the AI reads it next time when it runs into the same issue. It won't give me 0 value in a blank area. These screenshots show the middle of the process, not the final result. But you can already see there's a structure, something that looks like a real code base, not a pile of garbage. Let me show you what the before looked like. Now we get to the exciting part, the July filing. I saw it trying to get the AI to do the filing itself, instead of me doing it. Japanese government filing software was probably developed around 300 years ago. It is so old that use Shift plus scroll wheel to move around a page horizontally crashes it. And the text is all Japanese, full of katakana, with formatting from hell. Nothing about modern UX exists in these softwares. It is like reading a dictionary, except a dictionary at least has typography. To figure out what each field means, you have to cross-reference everything manually. My AI company manager was still in its early stages, not fully built out, but I could not wait to try it. So I started rough, tried brute force, just raw power. I copied the report text directly from the software, pasted it into a Telegram chat. That's how I use my server AI. It appeared as a giant wall of nonsense that I myself could not read. Then I quickly realized, AI can recognize a neglected pile of files into something tidy, but it cannot turn what is inherently a pile of crap into something usable. So I changed strategy a few times. In the end, I just threw the XML file that the text software exports, the one no human can read, but AI can. Had it parse the file, figure out what information I needed, go fetch that data from our freshly organized company database, filing everything in, and generate a human-readable HTML report. All of that in just a few rounds of conversation. This was the first real test. Excluding the upfront organizing work, the actual filing took about 30 minutes. That is insane for something that used to take me hours of research, hours of looking up which number goes into which box. A professional could do it, of course. That's what they get paid for. But for a normal person who does not want to do this, who does not understand the terminology, this changes everything. I genuinely think this applies in every country. These government forms are universally complicated and universally painful. I even use the same approach to negotiate a contract for a new project during this period. If you're interested in that, I can make a whole other video about it. This whole experience showed me something that feels like infinite possibility. I have so much more to build, a more structured pipeline. Most importantly, I want to build an automated tax filing system first. I have been handling my own taxes for 7 years now, because hiring a tax accountant in Japan is expensive. Anyone who has dealt with this do-it-yourself nonsense knows exactly how soul-crushing it is. Every year, it was the most stressful time for me, the time I started losing hair. But this year, I'm actually looking forward to it, because I have a tool that actually works and compressed that entire garbage work time down to maybe a single day, while saving me thousands of dollars. Because let me be honest, most people just want to do their thing. They do not start a company for the sake of starting a company. They do not fill out forms for the sake of filling out forms. We just want to do our own thing. AI agents like Hermes Agent, larger models like DeepSeek V4, they have reached the tipping point where they are genuinely usable and the cost is completely under control. And I think this, using AI to automate the bureaucratic garbage, is genuinely one of the best use cases out there. Not using AI to generate more garbage images, garbage videos, garbage music, but using it to solve the real problems that every ordinary person deals with on a daily basis. And that should never have been our problem in the first place. If you got something out of this, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. If not, watch another one.